The GT3 is back on the channel again. It's actually been quite a number of weeks since I've actually driven this car. Forget about the intro, let the exhaust be the intro to today's video. When I actually got in the car today and started her up, I got a flash on screen saying, oh, no card detective, and then card detected. And then I realised that's because I haven't used the car. Bloody hell, it's bumpy. I haven't used the car for a few weeks, and so the security tag, which you've got to have with you when you're in the cabin of the car, switches off, so it doesn't detect it. So you have to push a button and then it brings it back to life. And this car really does bring me to life when I drive the thing. I mean, it's just so exciting. But anyway, in today's video, if I can try and remember my agenda, sometimes it's better to kind of go off the cuff than it is to have it all written down on my notes on my phone. But anyway, in today's video, I'm hoping to talk a little bit about what's coming up on the channel again. There's about to be an overtake though here. Ooh. No nonsense, this car. Yeah, so we're also going to talk about a little bit more about the club, and also I'm going to talk about a bit about Rolex and what I'm hoping to see at the watch reveal, which I believe is going to be on the 7th of April, the watch reveal online from Rolex. What I think we'll see in terms of the watches and maybe some changes I'd like to see. Changes I think I'd like to see, but I think probably definitely won't happen. We'll talk about that as well. So we'll take a look at. The thing about this car is it delivers all of the trigger points, pushes all your buttons when it comes to the emotion of what you're doing when you're driving. So when you accelerate, you expect to hear that crescendo and that flat six pickup revs, and the engine note in the cabin. It just blows your ears off, really. And I was nowhere near the red line there. But it just brings that thrill. It just brings that thrill to the driver when you drive this thing. And when you step in this car, it just feels stiff, it feels raw. And I think that's maybe something I'll start about talking about now in today's video, is GT3 product becoming a bit soft. I certainly noticed a change in the rawness between the 981 and then the 718 product. GT4 over the previous version, and then obviously again in the Spyder, because I had the Spyder for those 15 months of pleasure, and they're coming back very soon. A waste lorry just went through a clump of mud, put some crap all over my car. And thanks very much for all of you guys who got in touch with me about the spec on the Spyder. I have had lots of questions about which colour will it be, and obviously there are some hints, I guess, of colours that would contrast and go well with yellow, with black, etc, etc. But I'm going to leave that to the reveal. Some of my close pals know what's coming, but you know, it's just a great colour. It's a colour which will really suit the car. And it's a car which I just don't think I'm ever going to sell. Just can't ever see it. But 3 great overtaking opportunities present themselves already. Here we go. It just howls and goes. Instantaneous throttle response in a GT3 RS. So maybe on the journey back, I'll talk about some of the things which the club's going to have, which are just going to be totally part and parcel of being a member of Drive Venture. So all of the inclusive stuff the fee is going to give you. So we'll talk about it on the way back, but on the remaining little leg of this journey, let's talk about what I think Rolex should do, but probably won't do in Geneva. I think they could bring some different dial variations out for the Daytona. All prices on Daytona have just gone crazy, absolutely crazy. And it always happens, I mentioned in some of my recent videos, it always happens when the Watches and Wonders show, which is going to be coming up very shortly now, pops up, and people think, oh, that watch might go, and then that watch might go, and then what you expect doesn't happen. So there's a lot of people hedging the bets, I think. Now I've got a watch which I'm going to pick up when the shop opens, my deal at Whittles and Preston open. They've got the watch for me in the safe. It's actually going to be a companion to this watch. It's going to be a companion to my Deep Sea, and it's a James Cameron Deep Sea. Yes, I've finally pulled the trigger on one. It is a watch I have wanted in the collection for some time, and I'll be honest, I do prefer the classic black look. And I was watching a really great video from Paul Thorpe just this last week, and he was referring to the Deep Sea, and how this one here, the original series, maybe shouldn't have been made because of the thinner bracelet, etc, etc. But I've said it in other content, this watch was the watch, this reference, the 11660 Sea Dweller. This was the watch Mr. Cameron had on his wrist when he went down in the depths of that green sub, the Mariana Trench. This is the watch he was wearing. So I think from a history standpoint, from an originality standpoint, I think it's a watch I'd like to keep. And offloading it for the D Blue was just really something I guess I could have done, but I didn't want to do. So I've bided my time. So a D Blue's coming, and I'll do a bit of a reveal on that watch when I get it. It's going to obviously be towards the end of April when the shops open up again. Just open up the throttle on this car just a little bit there. Grief. Especially when you've not driven it for a little while. You know, you get in it again, you get in these seats, just nice and firm and supportive, you get your hands on the steering wheel. It's like, let's get on with it. It's just, and the cornering ability as I take the chicane, very exciting. Yeah, so coming back to the watch, yeah, I mean, I'm excited to get it. I actually think it's a watch that's going. I do think it's a watch that's going. Just got a feel it's just been going over 10 years. But I think if it does go, the D Blue dial, or the Sea Dweller as we know it, the 12666 reference, I think we were looking at an upgraded size. Because don't forget, you know, the subs have now come on, the 41mm, they've got the anniversary Sea Dweller at 43mm. My friend's actually just got one of those. I actually helped him to get that watch at Whittles, so made a phone call. He got it quite quick actually, a lot quicker than I thought. But congratulations on that one. So 43 on the anniversary, and then we're going into the Deep Sea at 44. Maybe they need to step it up and they need to make it bigger. And I think that's something which Rolex should do. Whether they will do it or not, we'll have to see. Maybe some different dial colours. So we know we like green. I've got a green dial, yellow Daytona, full yellow Daytona on order for Mrs. H. We'll have to see whether that gets discontinued too. Always rumours. To see. I do think that it ultimately will be discontinued, but it's just trying to sort of like guess when it'll happen, I suppose. Okay, ahead on the channel, yes, well, this very weekend coming, and you will have seen the video of the 911R. Now that is a car 5 years old, just actually, yes, 5 years old now, 2016 release at Geneva. So that car, hopefully you enjoyed that video, because I know it's going to blow my mind. I might actually, depending on how the filming goes, I may record another 911R drives video, probably be the first one. I might record that on the way to the filming point. this weekend. I'll see how we go, But again, special thanks to the owner for allowing me to have access to that car, because, you know, there's not many of them around. Most dealers got one, bigger dealers might have got two, 991 examples, so, you know, just can't wait to drive it really. But it's going to thrill me, the same seats as in this car, and go through that car, and you'll hopefully have enjoyed that video when it went out recently. So there we go. Well, we are arriving at Costco. Another reason I'm bringing the car along today, got the RS out of the garage, so I haven't driven it for a few weeks, is because it needs fuel. Just running low on fuel, got a half a tank, and as we're getting nearer to the country, being able to get out and drive and do stuff again. I mean, I do get people commenting sometimes, you know, you should be in lockdown, you shouldn't be doing what you do, but, you know, I am working, you know, it's fun work. I'm not disagreeing with that, but, you know, it is work, and I wouldn't go in my car with some friends and just go for a drive. It's just not cricket really. I just wouldn't do that. So I am at the petrol bay. Ooh, yes. So in part 2, I'm going to talk more about the club. I'm going to talk about the things that you're going to get if you're a member of the club, the stuff we're going to have on tap, and the exciting things we're going to be able to do together. Obviously, we'll try and get as many people on these sorts of things as possible. I'm at the pump. I'll see you in part 2. Got to look after Emily and my other daughter too. Who may come on film eventually. I mean, I don't know when. Just say, you know, onwards. Okay, I just realised that it seemed to go quite quick, that first section, but of course I do get here a little bit quicker when I'm driving this car. Can't think why. But anyway, yeah, I just finished my Costco shop there, and there's a couple of lads in some nice Audi stuff, Volkswagen stuff. Taking photographs of my car. It's not the most inconspicuous one, is it, really, on the road? Although I think it's a little bit more under the radar than some, like a McLaren 600, which I think is just looks so like futuristic, really, you know. So anyway, so let's talk about the club. Let's talk about, it's coming up. I mean, I'm getting the reveal on the website very, very soon. It could even be today, actually. The chap was messaging me yesterday. We're trying to link in all the social media stuff, so photography from Instagram and all the rest of it, the reels, that's all on the website, you see. So that's what we're looking to do. So I'm just hoping we can get it to be absolutely knockout, because as you can imagine, I'm not the sort of chap who's going to settle for anything less than the best. So so the club's going to have lots of things. One of the most favourite things I like to do, it's such a laugh, it's so enjoyable, is karting nights, where we get the pals together, and then we'll go out into Manchester, and they've got these electric carts, so very futuristic, polar bear friendly, and we do this like karting night. It's absolutely fantastic. It's so good. They time you'll be like in different heats with your friends, and I mean the torque on them, because of the electric engine, is just really, really exciting. So we do that, and then you get like your scorecard at the end, and then what we do is we go into town and we have a few drinks, then we have a meal, and we pick different cuisines. So we've done Indian, we've done one of my favourites, we do an lovely Spanish number, so we do Spanish, but there's other things we can do. So we want things like that to happen, because, you know, it's not just about you know, driving your car, it's about being around and making friends with people who've got similar tastes and passions as you when it comes to the cars. So that's one thing that I want to do, and that's really inexpensive, but obviously I'll organise it all, we'll set it up at the limited places, although they do actually have quite a few slots on an evening, so we'll be doing that. The other thing we'll be doing is just general like meets, where we have like meets, and then we'll have maybe a drive, and we'll have some lunch, and then we'll go our separate ways, that type of thing. So again, that's all going to be included. We're going to do quite a few of them, because I think people enjoy just doing a drive in the friends, and we'll do it early morning so the roads are quiet, pick some great locations, and we'll lunch at a decent spot where we can have a bit of a crack and some food, and then that will be that. Other things we'll do, we'll have like coffee morning, so we'll just ask you know, a garage or something like that. So we've got X number of lads who or members and ladies and gentlemen who want to come down and do something with the club, and we'll try and pick a venue and then we'll meet there and we'll do that, because ultimately, again, that sort of thing is interesting. So I don't want the club to be basically a thing that you join and then it's like, to do anything else, it's like X more, you know. Obviously the trips will be more, the trips where we do the overnight stops and things like that will be more. But, you know, just the meals out, that's the other thing we'll do. So we'll just pick a restaurant, we'll say, well, we're going here or we're going there, and we'll pick something with a decent car park or what have you, and then we'll do that. So that's another thing which we'll do. So I want it to have a big social element, because there's no point having a club where it's just maybe just something we do, we get to know people over a series of trips, which perhaps are, you know, you don't see people for months and months on end. I don't know, maybe some cases 1 year to the next, so we can see that different. So just growling a little bit. Amazing. Also, a little bit of news, and I was coming on the channel, I released the Costco Drive video, the last one I think, before the Porsche Club Extraordinary General Meeting, because I felt very strongly that that meeting wasn't necessary. And I'm pleased to report, I'm sure there's people who in the Porsche Club who watch my channel, that all of the motions that were put forward to remove 6 of the 7 directors was defeated, and then motion 2 to appoint, I think, 7 people to the board, each one of those candidates was rejected. So there we go. I mean, I think the voting was something like 200-ish to basically for the motion, and probably as many as 2,000 or more against. So a ratio of quite a strong ratio against the motion. I think that was right, because what was happening was far too strong for. Okay, some mistakes have been made. I think the club's learned from that, really. But I'm hoping that locally we're going to get some good stuff on for Porsche owners. And of course, I've got my own thing going on. I always have, really. I mean, that's just me. But I'm hoping that we get stuff that appeals to more of my tastes, because I don't want it to be. I don't want it to be solely for me. It's got to be other people's interests catered for. And so they've got some good static stuff coming up. They've got some kind of like a classic car kind of show. Galsworth Hall, that's the first event they're doing. Now things are opening up again. So, you know, I wish everyone locally is putting the time and energy into organising things for people and for members the very best. I really do. I mean, I hope that we can, you know, get back together very soon in May and get the club going again. But I think that's one of the big factors. There's been all this pent up emotion, you know, myself included. You just can't go anywhere, do anything really with friends and cars. I think that's led to emotions overspilling, shall we say. So there we go. Well, I'm looking forward to the 911R this weekend. I really am. And of course, you've seen that video now, and my thoughts and reflections on that car will be coming up in a coming video. But I'm excited about the future. I'm excited about where I can take the brand. Oh, one thing I did also forget to say is a big thank you to people who follow me on Instagram. The Instagram's just gone past 10,000 followers, which, you know, is minuscule compared to some, but you've got to start somewhere, and the club's building up well. The follower is building up really, really well. And you know, that's good, because we think our content's good. We really do, and we think it's good enough for people to enjoy and to watch. And certainly I get a lot of enjoyment out of looking at the photographs we put on and the comments. Thanks very much for the comments. Not all of them are ones I like to read, but you know, we do get a few funny ones. But anyway, overwhelmingly positive, so that's the main thing. So I am looking forward to catching up with you guys, those of you who want to join the club, in person before hopefully too long. Wait for the website's coming now. It's at that launch probably within the next month. I'm hoping it will be up and running, operational, and people can start to book onto things, pay to get involved. They'll know what's coming ahead, they'll see the calendar, they'll see the events, and I'm looking forward to getting home, having some Krispy Kreme donuts with Emily, my other daughter Jessie. Thanks very much for watching the video, and I'll see you next time.